2-4 to start the season. No big deal after all. The Oilers did go 2-9-1 to start last season. They went to the Cup final. You know who hates that way of thinking? The coach, Bruce Boudreau. Bruce, explain why the Oilers cannot afford to take these losses anything less than very seriously.
Well, first of all, Gino, I'm going to tell you, you know what? There's a reason that I think the longest winning streak in league history is 17 games. It's because you don't win 16 in a row every day. Matter of fact, as a coach, I used to think that if you could ever win 10 games in a row, I would tell the guys after the 9th game, I say, hey, listen, this is something really special. You're going to remember this for the rest of your lives. Winning double digits is not easy. So you cannot depend on, oh, we're just going to win 10 or 12 in a row. It doesn't happen. So, I mean, it's when you lose 4 in a row to start the season, now they've started coming back. They've won 2. But let's just say they have a little glitch and they lose the next 2. Then all of a sudden they're starting all over again, and it's another week to 2 weeks gone down the drain. So, I mean, they got to get it now. The idea for the Oilers is to get to 500 and then go from there.
Hey, listen, speaking of slow starts, through the first 6 games last season, Zach Hyman, 2 goals, 7 points. Nothing. 0 goals, 0 points through the first 6 this season. As a coach, how would you get a player like him going? Would you go the good cop or bad cop route?
Well, with a guy like him, if he was the second-year guy and he did it once only, I would probably go a different route. But with him, played there for quite a few years, being an older guy, I would sit there and you know what, and play him more. He's going to get out of it. Play him with the same guys. I've watched a couple games where things don't go right and they're very quick. It was usually in the 4-game losing streak that they're quick to change lines. You know what? When I was playing one of my last years, I brought John Anderson, who we all know, into Fort Wayne to play with us, and he was in a terrible slump at the beginning of the year. And our coach, Al Sims, wanted to sit him, and I said, don't. You know he's a really good player. Play him more. Play him a lot until he gets out of this, because he will get out of this. So if I was the Edmonton Oilers, I would play him instead of less when he's not playing well. Double shift him till he gets out of this thing. And once he gets out of it for good, you got the 50-goal scorer in Zach Hyman.
Coach, as the assembled media, we're going to jump all over a slow start by a team or a player like this. When you were coaching, how would you handle this sort of start publicly to avoid your players getting asked the same questions every single day?
Well, I would take the hit. I would sit there and say, hey, listen, Zach's doing a lot of good things. Things aren't going in. Pucks aren't bouncing his way. I've told him to keep going the same way. Pick it up maybe 10% and good things will happen. The other thing, when things aren't going well, sometimes you got to get a little bit out of character. Let's get a little more rambunctious. Let's be a little more physical. Let's get more involved in the game. Because every coach will tell you, when things aren't going right and you get hit and you start hitting back, all of a sudden you feel more into it. I think a little thing like that would be something. And I mean, I would take the hit for him because he's too good a player to have to answer these questions every single day.
Fair enough. Well, the Oilers aren't just racking up losses right now. They've been doing so in ugly fashion. They've been outscored by 12 goals this season. The only teams with a worse goal differential right now, the rebuilding Sharks and the winless Preds.